Rikishi asks WWE fans to pray for Jimmy Uso. Plus, a title match has been added to AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. And is an AEW show about to be cancelled? It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. So Jimmy Uso's been very conspicuous by his absence from WWE television for a fair bit now, and Rikishi got quite a few people concerned yesterday.
Yes, he did. So yesterday he posted a video on social media of his son Jimmy Uso with a caption that caused quite a bit of concern among fans, saying, "Dear God, pray for strength and health to continue. Hashtag Jimmy Uso, hashtag WWE, hashtag Bloodline, and Hawaii, Fatu, stay prayed for my boy, Jonathan Fatu."
Now, Jimmy Uso hasn't been on WWE TV since he was ejected from the Bloodline several months ago. It's expected that Jimmy will return as part of a Bloodline-based Survivor Series War Games match. But Jey Uso and, strangely enough, Rikishi have both on separate interviews in separate mediums. Rikishi on his podcast and Jey in an interview have said, "Oh, Jimmy will be back soon. He's fine. He'll be back soon." So this comment by Rikishi has certainly concerned a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Fightful Sean Ross Sapp has tweeted saying, in following up with people in WWE, they say that they've spoken to Jimmy Uso, who says he's fine. And Sean says, I don't have any further context beyond that. So what's going on? I'm not sure. Obviously, Rikishi has been outspoken about the booking of the Usos as of late, and I don't want to speculate just in case something is wrong, but sending our best to Jimmy. I am excited to see him back on TV to get this whole Bloodline storyline going between the new Bloodline and the Bloodline of old. But yeah, just sending nothing but best to Jimmy, and I guess we'll update you when we know a bit more.
We'll know more when we do. We'll let you know more at cultaholic.com. Over to AEW, where last night we had Dynamite on the road to Grand Slam, and a title match has been announced for Arthur Ashe.
Oh, Tony Khan announced in a social media post late last night that Mariah May will defend the AEW Women's Championship next week at Dynamite Grand Slam against Yuka Sakazaki.
Yeah, come on.
So Sakazaki was in a tag match last night and picked up a DQ win after Mariah May struck her with the women's title. And then in a video posted on AEW socials, May talked about that whilst Sakazaki is smiling and happy in AEW, she's known as a bully and the killer in Japan. She said, "Give me your absolute best so I can make you feel your absolute worst. Then we'll see how happy you really are." I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be very good.
So good. Sakazaki not long back in the ring after a spell outside due to injury, and back in a big way as well. I don't feel like Sakazaki is going to be the one to end Mariah May's reign.
No.
Mariah May is still calling for Mina. Mm-hmm. She wants Mina, and I feel like this is part of that game that she's playing there.
Yes.
But I think this is going to be something that really reminds people what Sakazaki is capable of. The people who probably don't really know what she's truly capable of just yet. I think this match with Mariah May might do that.
I agree, and I think it's only good that there's more contenders for that championship as well, rather than, going through. I know there's obviously incredible women within that roster. Some of them we've seen challenge for that championship quite a few times before. It's nice to have someone a little bit different, isn't it?
Also confirmed for Grand Slam last night, we're going to see Saraya in action, going one-on-one with Jamie Hayter. There she is, kissing the guns. Oh, take me to the vet because these swans are sick. This is something that was started at Wembley Stadium when we saw Jamie Hayter make a shock return, the All-In 0 Hour, to attack the people surrounding the ring with Saraya.
Yes.
As well as Harley Cameron getting a shoe in as well. It's Saraya's turn to take a beating, and that might be happening at Grand Slam in Arthur Ashe next week. Also confirmed for Grand Slam, the AEW World Tag Team titles on the line. The Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas, facing Will Ospreay and Carl Fletcher.
Ooh, I'm excited. We've got AEW Trios champions Claudio Castagnoli, Pac and Wheeler Yuta defending in an open challenge.
Oh, an open challenge.
An open challenge. Français.
Mais oui, por favor. FTW champion Hook defends that title against Roderick Strong. Ooh. Interesting clash of styles.
I'm excited for that one. Moxley versus Darby Allin, obviously, for Darby Allin's AEW World title shot will happen as well.
And we should be, could be, would be getting world champion of AEW Bryan Danielson facing Nigel McGuinness in a non-title match. This is a match that Nigel has said, look, Brian, if you're not frightened of me, get yourself here. I think they've told a really nice story in how they get here. It's something that's been peppered into the show since Brian came back, really.
Yeah.
Since Brian and Nigel first crossed paths with Nigel on comms and Brian in the ring.
Yeah.
This is something they've been dropping in for a long old time. But of course, this is a story that dates further back to the days of Ring of Honor and the incredible stories that they wove through ROH. You know, you only need to jump onto Google and you can see the story of Nigel and Brian. Obviously, they've been telling that story on TV as well in a really nice, subtle way, but you can dig even further and find even more layers if you felt inclined to do. But yeah, it would be weird to announce that match and not have that match.
I think I think that's going to be maybe the thing, isn't it? Is that we don't know if it's going to happen or not. Nigel might be in the ring. He's like, oh, I guess he's not coming out. And then out comes Brian to a big old pop. And I do hope that match is really good. I'm very excited for it.
I'll tell you what will be very good. The match happening on the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite. With Will Ospreay defending the AEW International title against Ricochet.
My goodness gracious me. So Ricochet told Ospreay last night that he's done it. He's done exactly what Will Ospreay said to go and do. Go and get some wins and then come back when you've done that. And Ricochet was like, I've done it. I talked to Tony. We've got that match for the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks, boy. Boy. Oh. I'm really intrigued to see this because when you look back on those matches they had that really set the wrestling world alight and caused a lot of conversations, it even brought Vader out of retirement. That's how powerful these matches were. And they both went on and did very different things. I feel like Will Ospreay has grown as a performer more than Ricochet. I don't think
the style has changed.
Yeah, stylistically, sure. I feel like he's changed. I feel like that Will has been in an environment where he has moved up the ranks and pushed his way through the totem pole of wrestling.
Yeah.
Whereas Ricochet has found himself, while still a phenomenal wrestler, still very much middle for diddle in WWE for many years. A comfortable place to be, obviously financially, aesthetically, but then you come into AEW and you go, okay, well, here's this guy that started here and now is very much here.
Yes.
So it'd be interesting to see how Ricochet matches up to there and how Ricochet moves and changes as he moves through. I think Ricochet desperately needs a new coat of paint as a character.
I feel like we're kind of getting that with the promo last night. It felt a little bit edgier for Ricochet, I guess, and I personally would really like to see a heel run for Ricochet, and maybe that's something that we get out of the program between the two. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be the last time that they square up against each other in AEW. I think this is just the first of many. But yeah, it'll be, as you were saying, it's going to be really interesting to see how the styles and everything has changed since, as you said, that sort of like the first meeting that they had together and how divisive it was for a lot of fans. And just to see how that's changed, I'm buzzing for it. They're putting on some really, really good matches recently.
They're going to really tear the house down. They've got a wonderful opportunity for the 5th anniversary of Dynamite to do just that. Dynamite looks set to continue for many more years to come, but we can't say the same for another AEW show. Wrestling Observer reporting that amid the new AEW TV deal being set to be announced soon, it looks like AEW Rampage may disappear forever. So AEW has recently been linked with Fox, and it's looking like we're going to see a brand new show launched on Fox with trademarks being filed for AEW Shockwave. And with all the conversation about Dynamite and Collision and this new show, it looks like Rampage might disappear. And you know what? Yeah.
Don't really mind. Again, like at one point when it felt like a sort of like a show that you had to watch. Because
I think it felt like a show you had to watch probably 25 minutes into episode 1.
No, come on. There was some really good episodes of Rampage. There was some really good episodes of Rampage, and some really good matches on there as well. However, as we've got sort of further along in AEW's timeline and Collision has come along, it's very much felt just like the spillover matches that maybe, just put on there for the sake of having on there. No real, at least to me, no real story progression stuff happens on there. That's mainly used for Dynamite and Collision. It kind of just feels like it's just there for the sake of being there. So I'd like if it's not to be for Rampage, anymore, then it's not to be.
I think to give it a comparison, because it's a Thursday, so today is the day that Matthew and I record the Cultaholic Classic SmackDown review, which you can listen to on the podcast feed on Saturday. To give it a WWE 02 comparison, Rampage kind of came in like SmackDown, but currently it's like Velocity.
Oh yeah, but Velocity looked cool with the green.
It looked cool.
I like the green.
I like the green on the Velocity.
Green.
But it's the idea that SmackDown would drop down and become Velocity, which it never did. Your Velocity become, and that's kind of what's happened with Rampage. Can't say I'm against them sending it away. The new TV deal with AEW, as discussed by John Orand of The Puck, set to be in the ballpark of $170 million. It is going to be a game-changing deal, not just for AEW, but for professional wrestling. Yeah, because that means that a lot of the pay markers, wherever you work, are going to change dramatically with that kind of money being thrown around.
Yeah, for sure.
Very intriguing time ahead, and it's one that we will keep you up to date on at cultaholic.com, where you can find the very latest wrestling news at any time. Kiss, kiss.
I love you, bye.